Your condition is probably neuroplastic, and that does not mean what you think it means, because we've been dismissed so many times, told that it's all in our head, or it's all anxiety, or they can't find what's wrong, or
this is what's wrong and you're gonna have it forever.
but I promise you, this actually isn't the case, and I'm going to prove it to you today in this video. Your symptoms are neuroplastic. They're a pattern in a loop that was learned by your brain and amplified by your nervous system. And because it was learned, it can also be unlearned. Hey guys, it's me from the future. I just wanted to pop in here real quick and say that if you're new here, my name's Steph. I have been on a healing journey from so many symptoms and so many things, including breast implant illness, benzo withdrawal, mold illness, chronic illness, MCAS issues, and so much more. And that is why I'm so passionate about helping people get through this. Now, personally on my journey, I found that the nervous system was the key piece. And so in these videos, I am educating you on exactly what has worked for me and hundreds of clients that I've worked with thus far. That all being said, please work alongside your healthcare professional if you're dealing with any sort of chronic condition, chronic illness, or chronic issues, and make sure that you're always having the support of someone who is a professional. Know that this video is for educational purposes only. It is not intended to give you any sort of medical or mental health advice. With that all being said, let's get into it. Here's the binary that most of us have been handed, especially if you're dealing with something like chronic fatigue, long COVID, MCAS, hormonal issues, panic disorder and anxiety, chronic pain, POTS, fibromyalgia, and so much more. You've either been told it's real, biological, something that is actually measurable and happening inside your body, and you have to just manage it for the rest of your life. Or you've been told it's psychological, all in your head, something that your mind is doing to your body. And the medical system, even well-meaning practitioners, often hand you one explanation or the other. They tell you to manage your symptoms for the rest of your life by avoidance or medication, or they tell you to lower your stress and relax more and you'll feel better. And we're often left thinking that we're broken, we're unfixable, that something is deeply wrong with us, which actually perpetuates that loop and drives us further into illness. But what if the real biology and neuroplasticity are not two competing explanations? What if they are one and the same, and combining these two approaches together and realizing that your condition is neuroplastic and therefore causing real biological markers is the answer? What if combining an approach that addresses both the psychological and biological factors of your condition is how you heal? Now, first I want to get really clear on what neuroplasticity is, what it actually means, because it gets thrown around a lot without explanation. And if someone looks at you and tells you that your symptoms are neuroplastic, you can take offense. That can be dismissive, like you're just saying it's all in my head, but not exactly. Neuroplasticity simply means that the nervous system changes in response to experience. That's it. It's not something mystical or magical or mind over matter even. It's how your brain and nervous system are built to work. They adapt based on what they encounter, especially if what they encounter is perceived as threat. So when we say a condition is neuroplastic, we mean it's a learned pattern. The nervous system has wired in a heightened threat response. And that wiring is now driving or massively amplifying the symptoms that you experience. Now here's where it gets interesting, because this isn't abstract. It shows up as literal, measurable biology. In a lot of these conditions, they can find cytokine elevation, immune dysregulation, inflammatory markers, and so many measurable changes biologically in the body. And particularly with MCAS, your mast cells are directly related to your nervous system, the threat system in your body. None of that is fake or just stress. It's your nervous system's real threat response circuitry, and that is expressed through real physiological systems. Which means that neurobiology isn't evidence against neuroplasticity. The neurobiology is the neuroplasticity. So if you're sitting there with a real diagnosis, real inflammation, measurable biological, physiological changes in your body, or you're told that nothing is coming up on the test and it's all in your head, here's what I want you to take from this. When you address the brain and the nervous system, you're not pretending your symptoms away, and you're not being asked to gaslight yourself into wellness. What you're doing when you address the nervous system, when you do the nervous system work and the brain retraining, is you're reducing that threat appraisal that keeps that biological system primed and reactive. You're teaching your nervous system through repeated experience that these symptoms, these signals don't require such a threat response. And because this is a pattern that has been learned through repeated experience, this is exactly how it gets unlearned as well. This is why safety signals matter, why reducing all over sympathetic tone matters. This is why how you respond to a flare matters almost as much as the flare itself. You are addressing the whole system of your body at the root that decides how much something gets amplified, how much attention and focus goes on it, and how, quite frankly, debilitated you will be by your symptoms and by the threat that is perceived. And over time, as you repeatedly signal that safety and change that loop and change that pattern, the symptoms naturally wither away because they're no longer relevant. Your nervous system is not in a state of threat any longer. So if you walk away with anything from this video today, I want you to walk away with this. Your condition is real. It is real. And it is also healable. The biology underneath your symptoms is not the obstacle to healing, and in many cases, it can actually be a big part of the map. So let me know in the comments what condition that you're struggling with, and have you ever been told that maybe it's just all in your head or from stress, or have you been told because you have these real physiological markers that this is a condition that you can't heal from, that you have to treat with medication or supplementation for the rest of your life? And if you want someone who can hold your hand through this journey and support you through this and help you every step of the way, you can check out the link in the comments. I will link how to work with me one-on-one or my Brain Body Reclaim program, which is a 5-package audio program. It has a bunch of hypnosis audios in there that help you cultivate that belief in your healing, help you cultivate a sense of safety in your nervous system, and then move on to the retraining steps that you need to truly make that lasting change. And of course, if you have any questions, feel free to drop them into the comments. I answer every single question that I get, and I want you to know that healing is definitely possible for you. Yes, you got this.